Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu called it tragic. He was referring to the strike that hit a tent camp in Rafah, Gaza. This camp was filled with families seeking refuge from the ongoing conflict. The incident resulted in a heavy loss of life, further escalating tensions in the region. The international community watched with bated breath, questioning the implications of this event on the already volatile situation. Netanyahu's choice of words, tragic, sparked immediate controversy. Was it an admission of error or a calculated attempt at damage control? The statement, carefully crafted yet lacking any acceptance of responsibility, did little to quell the rising anger. Across the globe, people grappled with the weight of the word tragic against the backdrop of the devastating images emerging from Gaza. The incident served as a stark reminder of the human cost of the conflict. It brought into sharp focus the daily realities faced by civilians living in a war zone. Their lives are constantly in limbo, their futures uncertain. The world looked on, many asking, when will this cycle of violence end? News of the strike spread quickly through the streets of Gaza. It was met with a collective gasp of horror and disbelief. The camp, once a symbol of resilience in the face of adversity, was now a scene of unimaginable devastation. Families huddled together, their faces etched with grief and despair as they tried to comprehend the magnitude of their loss. The camp, which had been set up to house those displaced by the fighting, was overflowing with people. Many had fled their homes seeking safety. They hoped to find a moment's respite from the relentless bombardment. Instead, they were met with another layer of tragedy, a stark reminder of the constant threat to their lives. The strike left many dead, including women and children. The wounded, some with injuries too gruesome to describe, overwhelmed the already strained medical facilities in Gaza. Doctors and nurses worked tirelessly, battling fatigue and dwindling supplies to save as many lives as possible. Yet the sheer scale of the disaster meant that many were left untreated, their moans echoing through the corridors of overcrowded hospitals. Netanyahu's statement, released shortly after the strike, sent shockwaves through the international community. Israel deeply regrets any loss of innocent life, he said. This is a tragic incident. However, he also defended the strike, claiming it was targeting terrorist infrastructure. His words were met with a mixture of condemnation and cautious diplomacy. The United Nations called for an immediate investigation, emphasizing the need for all parties to adhere to international law. The United States, a staunch ally of Israel, expressed concern over the civilian casualties but stopped short of outright condemnation. The incident reignited the debate about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, with many accusing Israel of using disproportionate force. Others defended Israel's right to defend itself, highlighting the security threats it faces. The incident underscored the deep divisions within the international community and the challenges in finding a peaceful resolution to the conflict. The strike on the Rafah camp is the latest chapter in the long and bloody conflict between Israel and Gaza. This conflict, rooted in territorial disputes and political ideologies, has been marked by cycles of violence and failed peace attempts. Understanding this historical context is crucial to grasping the complexities of the current situation. The Gaza Strip, a densely populated Palestinian territory, has been under Israeli blockade for over a decade. This blockade, coupled with recurring military operations, has resulted in a dire humanitarian situation in Gaza. Poverty, unemployment, and a lack of basic necessities are rampant, creating a breeding ground for despair and radicalization. The international community has for decades attempted to broker peace between Israel and Palestine. However, these efforts have been met with limited success. The two-state solution, once seen as the most viable path to peace, seems increasingly distant. The lack of trust between the two sides, coupled with the complex political realities on the ground, makes finding a lasting solution an arduous task. The strike in Rafah, with its devastating human cost and the ensuing political fallout, serves as a stark reminder of the fragility of peace in the region. It underscores the urgent need for a renewed commitment to dialogue and diplomacy from all parties involved. The international community, too, must play a more proactive role in mediating the conflict and addressing the root causes of the violence. The path to peace is fraught with challenges, but it is a journey that must be taken. Every life lost in this conflict is a tragedy, a stark reminder of the human cost of inaction. The international community must work together to break the cycle of violence and create a future where Israelis and Palestinians can live side by side in peace and security. The memory of the Rafah strike and the countless other tragedies that have come before it should serve as a powerful motivator. It is a reminder that the pursuit of peace is not a choice, but a moral imperative. The world watches and waits, hoping that this time the calls for peace will not go unanswered, that the lessons of the past will pave the way for a brighter future.